from the secret location that is the Luxury Promise Hermès Vault this afternoon. My name is Jessica, or Jess, as I'm known within the team, because there's lots of us floating around, as you may have noticed. We are this afternoon going to be going on a bit of a deep dive into all of the new in Hermès pieces here in London. We're going to wait for a few more people to join. As I mentioned, my name is Jess. Rachel is going to be moderating for us today, the gorgeous Rachel. Hi, hi, hi. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining us. We'll wait for a few more people to join, and then we will start going through some of the new ins. As you can see behind me, we've got a very beautiful selection of mostly neutrals, super sought after colours. We're doing a bit of an overview on some fun, unusual leathers this afternoon. Hi, Nadia. Lovely, lovely to see you joining us this afternoon. How are you? For anyone new to our shows, I'm sure you're all general tuna-inners, for want of a better word, viewers, shoppers of ours. For anyone new to the format of live shopping, everything that we feature during the show is obviously physically here with us in London. It is all available to purchase immediately, and all items purchased for anyone joining us from overseas, all items purchased for international shoppers, customs and duties are covered by Luxury Promise for every purchase during the show. Hi Hilary, thank you so much for joining us. Nadia, I'm good. Okay, good. Excellent. Lovely to hear that. We love to hear that. Thank you very much for tuning in. Okay, right. We've got a few more people joining. Rachel is very kindly sharing all of the details on how you can shop with us during the live shows, with details on shipping costs, and also all of the ways that you can pay. So we love our platforms to split it, where you can offset your payment amount, because obviously, because we are dealing with super, super rare collectible Hermès items, the price points are obviously of a certain value, and therefore the split it functionality is incredible for spreading out your payment options. Okay, right, let's start with one of my personal, I don't know if we should go straight in at the personal. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do our first pre-loved bag of the day. Okay, so the majority of the bags here at the Vault are generally brand new, fresh from store, perfect condition, full set. We do, however, get the odd excellent condition pre-loved piece. The first one of which I am going to show you now. Okay, right. For any of our Hermès experts, white, so pure white, blanc, was actually removed from the colour charts temporarily for a couple of years. So it has been very difficult to get hold of white. This is genuinely the most vibrant, beautiful. I'm going to turn the ring light up a little bit so that we get a little bit. Ooh, let's do it on this one. I've got too many things going on. Right, beautiful, bright white. You cannot get cleaner. In some photographs, I'm constantly getting forwarded images from clients saying, what is this colour? There are lots of different pale tones. Anything from the new mushroom to grey to nata. This is the only pure white that Hermès produce. This particular bag is a 35 centimetres, so I'm going to have to stand back a little bit to give you an idea of scale on this. It's the big bag. It's the big, classic 35 centimetre Birkin. The happy space for me personally is a 30 or a 35. They are just incredibly practical size-wise. This is genuinely a real treat. Okay, so it's in Clemence leather. Clemence is kind of, after Togo, really probably one of the best known leather, after Togo and Epsom perhaps, the best known leather finishes. It is a very matte finish leather, so in white it's a really, really great option because it's a really flat, clean, not shiny, beautiful, matte, flat white. Very contrasting with gold hardware. The gold looks really quite punchy on white. This is actually so it's 35 centimetre white. It's an HSS, so it's a special order. So for a long time, we didn't see white in the colour chart, which meant that it was only available via special order. The gold hardware is in immaculate condition, and I will show you the front plaques, which still have all of their original hardware protection plastics on both sides. The feet studs also very, very minor kind of movement marks on the original feet studs there. Really, really beautiful. So this is we've classed as excellent pre-loved condition. For a white bag, I cannot tell you how many white bags I've seen in a very loved condition. White is obviously something that is very difficult to keep looking immaculate for obvious reasons. Clement's leather, obviously that lovely pebble grained leather, very soft, very supple. It's less prone to It's less prone to natural veining rather than Togo. So you have a really enhanced pebbled grain on Clement's. This is obviously in the retourne style, so you can see the lovely folded over seams here, which make it really nice and soft and slouchy in the 35 centimetre. I mean, for a summer bag, this is kind of incredible. The corners are actually immaculate. Again, this one I believe actually has got, let me just check my notes. Yes, so it has been to the Hermès spa. So it has been tidied up. The plastics would have been, the hardware, sorry, would have been polished and the plastics replaced. In terms of all of the piping, it's immaculate. The corners are incredible. So this will come complete with all original packaging, including its box, dust bag, clochette. The lock is in here as well. Clochette and lock is in here as well. Nadia, it makes me rethink of my decision. Oh, all the neutrals. I mean, this is kind of the happy place right now. I'm very comfortable with my neutrals. I think generally the first option when somebody walks into our room, a lot of people gravitate towards this side of the showroom. We have literally always got the most incredible selection of neutrals, and I do think for early purchases, the neutrals are a really, really solid bet always. Makes me rethink my decision of not trading. Yeah, well, I mean, I love this wall, but I do think it's a starter bag. I think for more advanced purchases, I definitely think go for colours. You know I love green. Nadia, fave Hermès bag ever. So I love a B30. They are perfect size for me. They're not too big, but they're perfectly practical. We have just had in, I think it was 2 or 3 weeks ago, we featured a 32 centimetre Versapress pre-loved Kelly. It's a fantastic price point. It is on the website, but I'm sort of hoping nobody buys it because I have been manifesting that bag. Nadia, if you spot it, it is a real treat, and you know my very strong affiliation to those gorgeous dark greens. So there's our original lock and the coated padlock there, which is really beautiful. This obviously is a HSS. So yeah, leather. I know how you're obsessed with padlocks, Rach. So cute. Can't believe it's still available. Nadia, me neither. I think it might be me putting it into the universe for no one to purchase it, to be perfectly honest, because it's on my hit nest. So covered because HSS. So HSS, good question, Rach. Here is our very delicate, sometimes the foiling on a Clement's bag is a little bit less obvious simply because it's a very chunky grained leather. Really beautiful, wide texture to the grain. So you can see the horseshoe stamp is foiled there to show that it's a special order. So it's got this lovely covered padlock, which I think is a cute little feature. It's also good on white bags. Generally the lighter colour bags, if your padlock is covered, it means you can attach it. So my rookie error, first Birkin purchase, I added the padlock to the front of my light coloured bag, and it has left what we call in the industry with a smile line, which means basically where the padlock was sort of moving around, wiggling about, it has left a sort of a tarnish mark, which looks like a little smile, not a very happy smile, naturally. But it has left a little bit of mark on mine. So the white covered padlocks are the leather covered padlocks are actually fantastic because you can attach them to the front turnkey and they don't mark your bag, which was a bit of an, Nadia, can't you spar it? Yes, but then I'd have to be without it, Nadia. You know, I wouldn't be able to use it. So I've got to suck it up for now. I tried with the baby white, that was a bit of also a silly idea, but it's Epsom, so it's, you know, it's a resilient leather. Oh yes, you could put it on a necklace. You could hang it off a different part of the bag as well. Obviously it looks quite sweet when it's attached to the clochette and you can drape it around the handles, but again, difficult to prevent any tarnishing because obviously metal, when it's exposed to the elements, will start to tarnish naturally. Yes, so not ideal, bit of a rookie move. You'd think I'd know better. Apparently not. From personal experience, not ideal. So that one is available to purchase, the white B35. It's available it is C-stamp, excellent condition, fantastic price for a colour that is really difficult to get hold of, particularly in the larger sizes. So it's £18,500 or 22,378 US dollars. I never attach the heel clochette, it stays in its dust bag. Yes, that's very sensible, Nadia. Very sensible. I got a bit, I quite like the padlock sitting on the, I think it's a really nice little addition, but you're right, it would have been more sensible to keep it in the box, frankly. That was a bit of an error on my part. Never mind. Okay, right. Our first really super notable leather edition today. I wanted to talk about, firstly, it's an excellent price. Secondly, it's a super rare leather to find in a larger size, in a classic colour. Okay, so Tadelact is one of my personal favourite leathers. You don't see it very often. Very regularly, I'm going to come around this way so you can see the light in a bit better, very regularly confused with box. Tadelact has very slight difference. We'll learn from my mistake. Yes, that's precisely what I'm here for. The Hermès guinea pig. Make sure you don't make the same mistakes as me. Oh dear. Right, glossy. It is. It has the most incredible, luminescent, almost pearlescent actually, finish to the leather. It's much more lustrous than box, but very similar in temperament. It is so smooth. It honestly is the softest thing. So you have a very, very smooth surface to the leather. So both box and Tadelact known for their really glossy appearance. The one thing I would say, yes, they are susceptible to scratches and so on because they have such a smooth grain to them, but it's actually quite nice to be able to buff out scratches. I think over time as well with the bigger bags, we're really seeing a resurgence in the larger sizes and in some of the smoother leathers which start to look a bit more loved more quickly. And that whole aesthetic is really becoming a lot more popular, I think. I adore this leather so much. I'm just going to show you the back because it's got this incredible, I don't even know if it's coming across on, I'm going to move the ring light in a bit so you can kind of see it. But it does have this amazing glossy surface. Nadia sold my Capucine Tadelact B30 to LP a few years ago. I was scared to use it. Ah, okay. Capucine's an amazing colour. I remember that bag. Beautiful, but you're right, people are frightened to use it. I personally think it's one of those leathers that you just kind of need to start using so that it softens, and any sort of marks just give it a little bit more character. But I can imagine, like, it's almost one of those situations where you are frightened to get it out of its box. So this is brand new, immaculate condition. This is Y stamp. It doesn't come with its original receipt, but it will of course have all of our third-party authentication, as well as our very important Luxury Promise in-house authentication. It is a taupe. Obviously you can see from the natural contrast that you have in a taupe the colour. Tadlac. I just adore this leather. Basically, with Hermès's classic smooth leathers, you get the most incredible saturation of colour. Because they're glossy, you don't get so much contrast or shadowing in the grain. So this beautiful smooth texture. It's very silky to touch, glossy finish, high colour saturation. Really beautiful kind of lustrous finish to it. It honestly is just stunning. It has an almost kind of pearlescent quality to the leather. It really reflects light beautifully. It kind of radiates colour. So I would say in terms of the glossy leathers, they tend to be made more traditionally within the Hermès collection in the smaller bags. So the slightly more evening, slightly dressier bags. Kelly cuts, the Kelly pochette, the smaller bags. It has a beautiful kind of shimmer in the light. Very, very fine grain. Even finer than sort of the Swift that I'm always raving about. But a lovely combination with the really shiny palladium hardware. This one is brand new, full set, as you can see, all plastics available still on the feet studs and the hardware. Really stunning. So I do think, because people are always a little bit frightened of these leathers, the price points come in really, really well. So this one is priced B30 for under £17,000. This is an absolute steal for a classic colour in a 30cm Birkin in palladium, which at the moment we are certainly seeing less come to the market, therefore the demand for palladium is much higher presently. So this one is priced at £16,950, and that is $20,503 US. It's a steal. It is an absolute bargain. Market pricing for a B30 a taupe is generally upwards of 22,000. So it is honestly a fantastic price point. And again, with Tadlac leather, it's a real conversation piece for anyone who is an Hermès aficionado or a bit of a leather geek like I am. It's a real talking point because it's super unusual. You do not get many of these hitting the market. It's the first one I've actually seen in a taupe in a really long time. As I say, this one is a Y stamp, so it's still very recent stamp within the last 2 years. All original packaging, accessories. I just love it. I think it's such a really, really fantastic purchase. And I have actually got a Swift leather bag, which we'll compare it to later, because they're two of the leathers that I think people are often a little bit frightened of sometimes, just because they are super smooth, very silky. They have, Tadlac has a little bit more of a glossy effect, but a really beautiful, beautiful combination. Okay, right, oops, sorry. Just get rid of some of those. Right, let's move on to a Constance, because it's actually on my hit list. Nadia, you asked earlier about my favourite bags, so I do sit in the Birkin territory generally. However, I am hankering after a Constance, perhaps in the bigger size, because, you know, life. However, today I have a really quite beautiful, I need to keep standing on this side because we've got a little bit of lighting issue. There you go. This is Green Mayer. So a fairly recent introduction in U-Stamp to the Hermès colour chart last year, we saw the beautiful Green Maya, which is slightly more grey than your, I was just having a look to see if we've got a tan. Yes, we do. So, oh no, that's Green Maya as well. Beg your pardon. Very similar to a tan, a little bit of a colder grey. It's got a bit more blue undertone than brown. It's beautiful with palladium hardware. I personally prefer this combination with the gold simply because it's very subtle. It's a much cooler, much more kind of, as I say, like a bluer undertone. So this is an Epsom leather, which is our classic sort of artificial grained leather. It hasn't got natural grain. It's literally got a very consistent grain to it texture-wise. Palladium hardware, as I say, this is U-Stamp 2022, brand new, full set. And can I please see the Kelly and Versa press? It is not in here at the moment, but I will see if one of the team will grab it for me in a second. Bear with me 1 minute and I will see if I can find it. We'll finish off our gorgeous Constance and then I will see if somebody will bring it in. Hopefully one of the girls I'm watching can bring it in, otherwise I'm gonna have to shout down the corridor. Okay, right, so our beautiful 18 centimetre, so the smaller size Constance. It's a really great kind of day to night size. The strap is obviously adjustable, so you can wear it across the body. It sits really easily on me. I'm 5'7", I'd say. It sits beautifully on the hip, really comfortable height. You can also reduce the strap size very handily and stick it over the shoulder, which is quite beautiful. Love the versatility of the Constance. I think it's a really easy, hands-free option. Again, in this lovely grained Epsom with palladium hardware, 18 centimetres to the smaller mini size in the Constance. And this one is £14,500 and that is 17,540 US dollars. Okay, and for you especially, just give me 2 seconds. I'm going to see if someone down the corridor can get the Versa press. It's coming. Sorry about that. Quick, right, whilst the girls grab that, there you go, I literally did run, Anne, for you especially. It's being grabbed for us now. In the meantime, let's quickly do a pick tip, simply because it is here. Oh, no, here you go, it's here. Oh, thank you, Victoria. Okay, this is the dream right here. It's honestly the most beautiful combination in terms of gold hardware against this really beautiful vert, suppress, Togo leather, 32 centimetres, comes full set. It is in immaculate condition. Genuinely, you're going to see the most for your money in the 32 to 35 centimetre Kellys at the moment. Few and far between. However, in the pre-loved market, there are some incredible options. Really, really going to see value for money in these sizes. They are honestly beautiful. I adore this size. I think it's such a perfect. The 35, I think, is great, but it is big. It's a real statement piece. This is just that little bit more subtle. I really love the combination with gold hardware. Still mostly selling this to myself, I think. Comes full set with all of its accessories, and I will attach the strap so you can see how the 32 sits on the body. The hook straps are in fantastic condition. There is no plastics, but they are scratch free. Beautiful combination. So open, you can wear it across body. It sits, whoa, it's so lovely. Yeah, it's stunning. It's such a good purchase. We featured it a few weeks ago, priced at £11,950, and that is 14,455 US dollars. Jess, do you know if people are being offered bags from store in London? Has it slowed down? Haven't seen very many receipts coming from London, and we can generally tell the number of bags coming out of stores, obviously in locations that are quite bag heavy or like hot locations, from the number of receipts that we're getting through, location receipts that we're getting through the door. Not many at the moment, I would say. Obviously we've had a price increase. We are seeing a transition into the new stamp as well. So the B stamp bags, B for Bravo, is the new 2023 stamp. So once we start seeing a stamp change, sometimes the secondary market pricing has a bit of a wobble. It takes some time to adjust. We start to see all the intricacies in terms of production. Sometimes Hermès like to switch things up and change things. The B stamp bag has been pretty consistent to everything we saw at the end of last year, to be perfectly honest. Nadi says, because I've heard in Paris it's also become hard even with an appointment. Yes, I would second that. Again, we tend to see a lot of bags come from pre-registered appointments in Paris, in the flagship stores. There aren't that many bags coming onto market at the moment. I think in the next few months we are going to see pricing rising again, to be perfectly honest, because when the availability starts to slow down a little bit, obviously that has an impact on the pricing of the bags already on the market. I've also called a bit of a price increase shortly on some of the Cellier Birkins, which we have obviously had confirmed by Hermès that they have been discontinued permanently within the single tone sort of non-special order arena. If they're only sort of on the a la carte production, then we will, I do think, start to see a few increases in pricing across the board for Cellier Birkins. But I do think generally pricing is going to start. I know it always sounds like a sales tactic, but we actually do genuinely have a lot of data that starts to preempt, I guess, the pricing and how that affects the secondary market. Okay, right. Sorry, rambled on pricing, but good question, Nadia. I wonder why, although I do like the casual look of the Return B25. Yes, I do too. But I do think, like, we sort of mentioned earlier about Cadillac being one of the smarter leathers, or Swift rather, the shiny, the sheeny. They start to feel a little bit more evening. And I do think the Cellier Birkins, they look that much more structured, a little bit smarter. So I think that's definitely the allure there. I love the Cellier. I kind of, to look at, they're beautiful, they're very sculpted, they're very clean lines. But I think for usability, the Retourné is always going to be like the cornerstone of the collection, right? Really beautiful. I'm glad you asked to see this again, Anne. I feel like it is genuinely one of my favourite bags in the collection at the moment. And phenomenal price. Genuinely market pricing. That is a fantastically priced bag for a really sought after colour and leather hardware combination too. So yeah, it is available to purchase via the show, and obviously have a little look at the details if that is of interest. Okay, right, so we kind of raced through that Constance, but let's go back to our beautiful cargo picketing, because we had a couple of the cargo Birkins in for a while. They've all sold now. There are very few on the market. So the cargo collection, they have started to release in other colours, but the original colourways are very, very sought after at the moment. This is in the marine and black, so marine toile and black Swift leather combined with gold, palladium hardware. Sorry, it's very bright under these lights. Palladium hardware. Brand new in box, full set, very collectible picketing. Ooh, Venus, does the Kelly come with a strap? Yes. Which, the Versa Press? I did have it on. Hang on. Let's show you. Ta-da. Go back. Just can't put this bag down. Yes, comes with all original accessories. Like, the plastics are intact on the hardware. It is immaculate. Genuinely immaculate. I think there are a few very, very minor scuffs to the corners, which, to be honest, even under the ring light, are very difficult to see. It's minor. It's one of those instances where someone says, I've only used it once. I genuinely think this is probably only used once. But normally you can tell from press marks on the interior, there are none. And it comes full set with its clochette and padlock there. So yes, the crossbody strap is also there. Venus, gorgeous. And this green colour when it's lit up. It's super versatile because it could look black in certain lights, I think. Love Versa Press. Rachel and I are always on the green, sort of earthy colours. I think they're super versatile. And this obviously is our marine blue. So navy and black would sit with all colours. Very, very handy. Venus is the bag to get it before it ends up in, yes, in my wardrobe. It's true, it is sitting there until bonus time. If it is still here, that's kind of why I hid it, frankly, until Anne asked about it. I wouldn't have referenced it again. Yeah, Nadia's in team green, I think. We always love it. Venus, it genuinely is a fantastic, firstly, price and combination. I think you're getting a lot of bag for your money there. Fantastic investment. Sorry, back to our, I keep getting drawn back to that bag, I swear. Beautiful cargo picketing, 18 centimetre. Love how people are wearing picketings at the moment. Lots of people attaching the guitar straps or the Kelly straps to the kind of little metal attachments where you're supposed to attach your padlock. It's a really cool, easy kind of bucket bag. So you can wear them crossbody. They obviously sit really nicely on the arm. They're really soft and supple, but a little bit more hard wearing, I would say, in the toile. It comes with these great, really versatile pockets. Very much the utility picketing. Love that. Meaty High Jess, I'd like to ask if a picketing 22 orange gold hardware or picketing 18 black will keep their value better. I mean to sell one of the two. Should I wait or sell now? Good question. We don't see as many 22s. In orange as well. See, you've got two really great core colours. Orange again was taken out of the Hermès colour charts and has only recently been phased back in. It's a great colour, but black always. That's tricky because I guess it totally depends on the client or like the trend at the time. We are seeing bigger bags come back. And the 22 generally is a little bit trickier to get on the secondary market, I would say, just because there are less around. The 18 in black, there are more of around. So that was a sort of non-committal answer. I would say hang on to the 22 orange. The picket in black are a little bit more accessible. I think the orange will command a higher price basically when they sort of will phase out orange again from the colour chart, whereas black will always be available. There you go, we got there eventually. I wish I'd get a B25 cargo. Same, Nadia. I think I'd probably sit with a 35 though, to be honest. I do love the coffee cup holder, which strikes fear into me, frankly, because the thought of spilling coffee on your 35 centimetre cargo collector's item Birkin is not ideal. What about in the Loop 18? How's that being viewed in the market? Quite good, actually. We've seen a couple. I had a beautiful Capucine, so the same colour will be 30. Sold instantly. Pricing is really good. They're very cute. It's got the lovely, where are we? it's actually got, this feeds quite nicely into the next bag I was going to talk about. Let's do the pricing for this Picotin and then we'll talk about the Chaîne d'Ancre her bag, because for anybody who doesn't know, the In the Loop Picotin essentially features some lovely, a lovely little motif that's taken from a heritage jewellery collection, basically, in Hermès's collection. It's a really cute inclusion. So it's basically the Picotin shape, but with all leather, slightly more structured handles in the design of the Chaîne d'Ancre jewellery. Okay, so very quickly, the Picotin 18 centimetre marine blue and black, cargo style Picotin in Swift and Toile with palladium hardware there, is £4,500, and that is $5,443 US. Super collectible, great purchase. Love this bag. Okay, so the In the Loop is the new iteration of the Picotin. It has taken this lovely sort of Chaîne d'Ancre. It was a fantastically timed question, Nadia, because it segues beautifully into this bag. So it's taken from the sort of classic jewellery collection that Hermès have had in their in production for decades now. It really is a lovely kind of very signature motif, very notably Hermès. They have adapted that into the Picotin. Nadia, it's almost like you've seen my show notes sometimes. It's super retro, Rach, you're totally right. It's very unique. This is part of a very collectible limited edition. Black, her bags, always really sought after. So black and neutral are always by far our most requested combination, really. This one is with palladium hardware. You've got their classic sort of two-tone canvas that has had this Chaîne d'Ancre pattern printed on it. It's very retro, kind of, yeah, serious retro vibes, I think, on this one. Then with our super signature hunter leather, which is the really thick unlined leather they use for her bags. Really versatile, the her bag. Obviously you can take off the top strap, you can wear it crossbody. It is canvas, so it's really easy to clean. You can actually take off all the hardware and the leather from your her bag. It comes apart. There is this sort of post that sits through the top of the bag, gives it its structure that you can unscrew and remove. You can take off the top handle if that's sort of bothering you, just want to wear it crossbody. You can take off the crossbody if you just want to hold it, use it sort of a bit more like a briefcase. Or just a handbag. They are so good for travel. Nadia, we said that literally, I swear that popped up as I was saying it. We are on the same page, as always. They are so good for traveling because you can literally stick all of your belongings, everything you need, everything grabbable, snacks for the kids, passport, anything you need, telephone, goes straight in the back pocket, and you still get that lovely clean structure. It's super easy to open. I love this design. You also have the lovely little internal pocket that you can keep all of anything you want to keep discreet. Really easy to wear, the her bag. They look quite cool undone as well. Very, very cool. Okay, this one is priced at £4,000 with this lovely Chaîne d'Ancre print in the combination toile, black leather detailing. There is £4,000, and that is $4,838 US. So a limited collection piece. Very likely not to see again. Every season they start to release a few different limited edition printed. We obviously saw the Pegasus, which was hugely popular. The sort of the Vibration H logo that was also really super sought after. A really great entry point piece to the Hermès handbag collection. Maybe that's your starter purchase if you haven't got a piece before. The her bag is a great entry point. Picotins, her bags still really hold their value. They are incredibly sought after pieces and still very difficult to get in store, and therefore will always be attractive on the secondary market. Okay, right, another classic colour. Should we go back and do another classic? I think there is a black Kelly, so just to give an idea of size, this is the 28 centimetre Kelly. So 28 centimetre, that little bit bigger than the 25, which I think I have an example here in the Monde. So size-wise, this is the biggest question that we always get for clients coming in they've only seen bags in the cabinets. They want to actually try a bag on and see how it looks on their frame, because every client is completely different. I wonder if you'll choose to have a Picotin or in the loop if you can only have one. Choose to have a Picotin or an in the loop if you can only have one. Why is there a situation, Meaty, when we can only have one? I don't want to live in that world. In terms of investment point of view, I still think the Picotin is the classic. The in the loop is definitely a seasonal introduction. We don't know if it's going to hang around. I do think generally the Picotins are better investments because they are really still a cornerstone after the Constance, the Kelly, the Birkin. I would say the Picotin is still our most requested bag after the top three, that sort of trifecta that nobody can touch. So I do think the Picotin will continue to hold its value. Nadia, this colour is unreal. I've got a couple of pieces in Vermont actually, strategically placed around. We've got a B35 and a B30 as well, both fantastic price points. So just to compare sizing, the 25 is much more delicate. You can see, just move my little face out of the way. You can see in terms of hardware, the 28 always more noticeable because of the hardware. It's a much chunkier hardware. The gold is really delicate in comparison on the Vert Amande. Yes, much thicker sangles, great. Just got all the deets down, love that. If only we could have the whole green palette. Yes, it's my favourite page, I'm not gonna lie. Always when we go through like anything from the greens, like I'm still obsessed with the Jaune Bourgeon, which we've still only really seen in the Mini Kelly. I am beyond obsessed with it. It's like greeny, acidic yellow, bamboo, beautiful, Vert Jade, the Vert Comic, which we only have in a Picotin. I'm still waiting for other bags to come out in that. We haven't seen very many on the market, but yeah, this is the Vert Amande. So it's a real grey green, really flat, beautiful grey, really, really lovely. We've got it in a couple of different iterations, so we will introduce those. It looks very different actually in Epsom versus the Togo that you can see behind me. So very different bags, especially when they come with gold versus palladium hardware. Jaune Bourgeon, yes, the spelling is a nightmare. I still can't spell it. We've had it for 3 seasons and I still can't spell it. It's fine. But it is an incredible summery colour. Right, so back to our K28. So in terms of if you're looking for something a little bit more delicate, the 25 proportionally is a little bit cleaner, that little bit more dinky. The 28 is a great option. If you are that little bit taller, it comes with beautiful gold hardware. This is really, truly a classic. K28 black, Togo gold. I don't think I need to say anymore, but I will because, you know, I have a word count. I've got to reach today. It's a really lovely combination. The hardware is very prominent on the 28, as I say, so it is quite a attractive size. What more do you need, right? It's really beautiful. And then just to compare again, the next size up would be the 32, and it is, you know, you're really scaling up on the 32. it's that much deeper. It's definitely more sort of daytime. The 28 is that little bit, that sort of sweet spot between, like, if you're going out for lunch but intend to also have dinner out. It's a good one in black. Yeah, so beautiful. Just love the black. It's a fantastic. I honestly, I don't know what to say about this because it's such a classic. It is genuinely the first, depending on your style, depending if you're a little bit more polished and you tend to go for a Cellier, but the K28 black generally in a Kelly tends to be our first port of call if you're looking for your first purchase. Super beautiful. Brand new in box, full set. This one is use stamp 2022, late 22, and it is a fantastic price point, again, under £20,000 for a black classic brand new Hermès Kelly. 19,950 is the price, and that is in sterling, and then 24,132 US dollars. So all of our international clients, this is a steal because all of your duties and customs charges will be covered by Luxury Promise. What a treat. Okay, love that. Love the black. I have loads of bags to talk about today, and it's already 10:02, so I'm going to go back through my Swift bag, which is another black bag, but this, I rave about Swift. I genuinely rave about Swift leather. Lots of interesting things about Swift and why it's important as part of the leather collection for Hermès. This is a B25 black Swift with palladium. So firstly, palladium at the moment is more sought after than gold. For the first time in a long time, there are less on the market and therefore they are more sought after. So black with palladium, first blue tick. Secondly, Swift is important. People are, much like the Cadillac, are frightened of how it wears. It is very easy to buff out light scratches from Swift leather. It's actually more resilient than people think. This one is brand new in box. It's also a fantastic price. I'll let Rachel reveal that in a minute after I've gone on my ramble about how much I love Swift leather. It's an interesting leather because it was officially only really introduced in 2005. Before that, it was known as, I don't know if anybody knows this, this is like Trivial Pursuit question. No, I don't know if it'd ever make it on Trivial Pursuit. But it was previously known as Gulliver leather, which is a very prominent historic leather in the Hermès leather family. Actually named after the author of Gulliver's Travels. His name was Jonathan Swift. And any bag boffins out there will know that a couple of years ago, I think it was 2018, Jonathan leather was introduced and everyone thought it was a typo. Jonathan leather. Yes, Jonathan leather, very similar in appearance to Swift, part of the sort of smooth grain, very fine grained leather family. So Swift isn't quite as shiny as Cadillac. It does have the most amazing luminescence, and again, because it's got that smoothness of texture, it takes on colour beautifully. This obviously is black, so it's difficult to tell, but there is a reason why a lot of the beautiful pink tones, yellow tones, bright colours are often introduced into the colour chart in Swift leather, because it really does have an incredible absorption for bright colours. So it's super lightweight, Swift leather, so it's quite fine in texture, very, very smooth and glossy. This one is brand new in box, all plastics on the hardware. As I say, it's often a leather that people are frightened of because it's smooth. But I would say that you can buff marks out of it quite easily. I personally really rate this leather as a collectible. Also because it's quite lightweight. Again, as we mentioned earlier, there's a reason why evening bags are often made in Swift. It looks polished, it looks pristine. And again, because people are frightened of the smoothness of the leather, they think it's really delicate, and therefore the pricing is often a lot lower. So in terms, once again, as an investment, I fully rate Swift leather bags, unless of course we're talking like Rose Sakura, then you know, budget. Market pricing is less lenient. But for a black leather B25, your best bet on pricing for a new bag will always be in Swift. They are few and far between. So this is a fantastic opportunity. I just think it's lovely. It's finished beautifully. It has absolutely zero flaws to this leather. And the price is under £20,000, 19,500 for a brand new black B25 Palladium. Brand new, in box.